Welcome back to the Mind Gym, the place where we train not just our bodies, but also our minds. Today, we are going to dive into a practice that is often underestimated, overlooked, and sometimes even dismissed as something too soft or too simple to make a real difference in our lives. That practice is gratitude. You might have heard about it in self-help books, you might have seen quotes about it online, and you might have been told to keep a gratitude journal at some point, but here's the truth. Gratitude is not just a nice idea. It is not just about saying thank you or pretending everything is perfect. Gratitude is a state of mind and a powerful tool that can rewire your brain, strengthen your mental health, deepen your relationships, and even transform the way you see the world around you. Think of gratitude as an exercise, a workout for your mind. Every time you practice it, you are strengthening certain neural pathways in your brain. Just like lifting weights at the gym builds muscle fibers, practicing gratitude builds resilience, optimism, and emotional stability. Now, let's pause for a second. When was the last time you felt truly grateful? Not the quick, polite thanks when someone holds the door open, but a real moment of deep appreciation, the kind that warms your chest, brings a sense of peace, and makes you stop and notice the beauty of being alive. Maybe it was when you received unexpected kindness, or when you were reminded of how much someone loves you, or perhaps when you watched a sunrise and felt connected to something bigger than yourself. That feeling is not just sentimental. It is deeply biological. Neuroscience tells us that gratitude activates the brain's reward system. It releases dopamine and serotonin, those feel-good chemicals that immediately lift our mood. And over time, with practice, gratitude changes the structure of your brain. Studies using MRI scans show that people who cultivate gratitude regularly have more activity in the prefrontal cortex, the area linked to decision-making, emotional regulation, and resilience. In other words, gratitude doesn't just make you feel better in the moment. It makes you better equipped to handle life as a whole. But here's something fascinating. Even though gratitude is so powerful, our brains are not naturally wired to be grateful all the time. The human brain evolved with a negativity bias. Thousands of years ago, it was more important for our ancestors to notice the rustle in the bushes that might be a predator than to stop and admire the flowers. Paying attention to danger meant survival. That wiring is still with us today, which is why it's so easy to focus on what's going wrong, what's missing, or what might hurt us. Gratitude interrupts that ancient bias. It doesn't erase problems, but it balances the scale. It reminds us that alongside the difficulties, there are also gifts, opportunities, and moments worth appreciating. Think of it like wearing glasses. If you wear glasses with scratched or dirty lenses, everything looks distorted. Gratitude cleans the lens. It doesn't change the world, but it changes the way you see it, and what you focus on grows. When you practice gratitude, you begin to notice more things to be grateful for, and that spiral creates more positivity, more connection, and more meaning in your daily life. Researchers like Dr. Robert Emmons and Dr. Michael McCullough have studied gratitude for decades. In one famous study, they asked participants to write down 5 things they were grateful for every week. That's it, 5 short notes. After just 10 weeks, participants reported higher levels of optimism, more physical exercise, fewer visits to the doctor, and even better sleep. Think about that. Something as simple as writing down a few words of gratitude had measurable effects on physical health and mental well-being. In another study from the University of Pennsylvania, people who wrote a letter of gratitude to someone they had never properly thanked showed a huge boost in happiness, and the positive effects lasted for months. Gratitude is like a compound investment. The more you practice, the more it grows, and the longer the benefits last. And it doesn't stop with individuals. Gratitude has a ripple effect. When you express gratitude to someone else, they feel seen, valued, and appreciated. That feeling makes them more likely to be kind, generous, and supportive in return. Psychologist John Gottman, who studied relationships for decades, found that successful marriages often come down to a simple ratio, more positive interactions than negative ones. Gratitude fuels that positivity. A simple thank you or acknowledgement can turn an ordinary relationship into a thriving one. Imagine how different workplaces, families, or communities would feel if gratitude became a daily practice rather than a rare moment. Of course, gratitude isn't always easy. When life gets tough, when you lose a job, face illness, or go through heartbreak, gratitude can feel out of reach. But it's in those exact moments that gratitude becomes the most powerful. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, wrote about how even in the horrors of concentration camps, prisoners who managed to find meaning and moments of gratitude, even for something as small as a piece of bread or a glimpse of a sunset, were more likely to survive mentally and emotionally. Gratitude does not erase pain, but it gives us strength to endure it. It shifts our perspective from only what we've lost to also what we still have. Now let's bring this closer to your everyday life. You don't need to wait for a crisis to start practicing gratitude. You can build it into your daily routine, just like brushing your teeth or exercising. One of the simplest methods is keeping a gratitude journal. Every night before bed, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They can be big or small, from the love of your family to the taste of your morning coffee. Over time, your brain learns to scan the day for good moments because it knows you're going to write them down later. Another powerful practice is the gratitude letter. Think of someone who has made a difference in your life but whom you've never properly thanked. Write them a heartfelt note. Even if you never send it, the act of writing changes your perspective. If you do deliver it, the impact can be life-changing for both of you. There's also the simple pause. Before you eat, before you go into a meeting, or before you fall asleep, pause for just 10 seconds and bring to mind one thing you appreciate. These micro moments of gratitude may seem insignificant, but they add up and they start to reshape your mental patterns. Gratitude meditation is another practice worth exploring. Spend 5 minutes focusing on your breath, and with each inhale, think of something you are grateful for. With each exhale, release any tension. Over time, this practice calms your nervous system and increases emotional balance. Gratitude is not about pretending life is perfect. It is about learning to see the whole picture. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, there are losses. But there are also gifts, relationships, opportunities, simple pleasures, lessons, and moments of beauty. When you train your mind to notice and appreciate them, you become stronger, calmer, and more present. Gratitude becomes not just something you practice, but something you live. So here's a challenge for you. For the next 30 days, commit to a daily gratitude ritual. In the morning, before you grab your phone or rush into the day, say out loud one thing you are grateful for. During the day, thank at least one person genuinely. At night, write down 3 things that went well. That's it, just a few minutes a day. But after 30 days, you'll notice a shift. You'll feel lighter. You'll catch yourself smiling more often. You'll find yourself focusing less on what's missing and more on what's already here. Gratitude is not about denying difficulties. It's about choosing to see the gifts alongside them. It's about remembering that even in the storm, there are anchors. Even in the darkness, there are stars. Gratitude is the lens that helps you see them. And the more you use that lens, the clearer your world becomes. As you reflect on this message today, I want you to think of one thing, right now, that you are grateful for. Maybe it's the fact that you have access to this video. Maybe it's the roof over your head. Maybe it's a person who has supported you. Or maybe it's simply the fact that you are alive in this moment. Hold on to that feeling. Let it fill you. That is the essence of gratitude, and that is the mental workout we're here to practice together in the Mind Gym. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to take action. Share in the comments one thing you are grateful for today. Your words might inspire someone else who needs that reminder. If you found value in this video, please hit the like button because it helps this channel grow and it spreads this message of gratitude to more people who need it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Mind Gym for more science-based tools and practices to train your mind, build resilience, and live with greater purpose. Thank you for being here, thank you for listening, and thank you for practicing gratitude. Remember, your mind is your gym, so keep training it with gratitude.